I always knew Madison was ambitious, but I never thought she'd betray her own sister. Growing up, we shared everything: clothes, secrets, dreams. But that changed the day we both interviewed for the same position at Sterling Communications, one of the largest PR firms in New York. "May the best sister win," Madison said that morning, hugging me before we entered the towering glass building. I believed her smile then. I shouldn't have. I'd spent years preparing for this opportunity: multiple internships, a master's degree in communications, networking at every industry event I could find. Sterling was my dream company, and the director of digital strategy role was everything I'd worked for. The interviews went perfectly. I presented a comprehensive digital transformation strategy that the board loved. They seemed particularly impressed by my innovative approach to integrating AI into their social media campaigns. By the end of the day, the CEO himself told me I was their top candidate. "We'll be in touch next week with the formal offer," he said, shaking my hand. "Your ideas could really transform our company." I was floating on air when I left the building. Madison hugged me again, asking how it went. I told her everything, too excited to notice how intently she was listening, how carefully she was noting every detail. The next week, I waited for Sterling's call. Instead, I got an email that made my blood run cold. "Dear Alexandra, while your application was impressive, we decided to go with another candidate whose vision better aligns with our company's future direction. We wish you the best in your career pursuits." I was confused, devastated. What had happened? Then I saw Madison's social media post. "Thrilled to announce I'm joining Sterling Communications as the new director of digital strategy. Can't wait to implement my revolutionary AI-driven social media strategy." My strategy. The one I'd spent months developing. The one I foolishly shared with my sister. I called Madison immediately. "How could you do this to me?" "Oh, grow up, Alex," she laughed. "This is business. I simply took your ideas and presented them better. That's how the real world works." "We're sisters," I protested, my voice shaking. "And I'm the successful one now," she replied coldly. "Don't worry, I'm sure you'll find something, eventually." That night, I sat in my tiny apartment, surrounded by my career plans and industry research, and made a decision. Madison thought she'd won, but she just taught me the most valuable lesson of my life: trust no one and play the long game. I took a job at a smaller PR firm, one Madison considered beneath her. But while she was bragging about her corner office at Sterling, I was learning everything about the industry from the ground up. Digital marketing, client relationships, business operations, I absorbed it all. More importantly, I started studying Sterling Communications itself. Their financial reports, their client lists, their weaknesses. Madison might have stolen my dream job, but she also given me inside access to the company through her endless social media posts and boastful family dinner conversations. "You should see my new office," she'd gloat at our parents' house. Floor-to-ceiling windows, my own assistant, the works. Sterling really knows how to treat their top talent. I'd smile and congratulate her while quietly taking mental notes. Every detail she shared was another piece of the puzzle I was assembling. 3 years into her role, Madison had risen to vice president of digital operations. She never missed an opportunity to remind me of her success. "Still at that little agency, Alex?" she asked at family gatherings. "You know, Sterling's hiring junior associates if you want to interview again." I could put in a word. What Madison didn't know was that I'd left the little agency 18 months earlier to start my own digital marketing consultancy, Phoenix Digital. We operated in stealth mode, working with smaller clients but developing cutting-edge technology that made Sterling's systems look obsolete. I lived modestly, putting every penny of profit back into the business. While Madison bought designer clothes and luxury cars, I was building something bigger than she could imagine. 5 years after the stolen interview, Phoenix Digital had grown into a powerhouse, though few knew it. We operated through subsidiaries and shell companies, with me deliberately staying out of the spotlight. Our client list included some of the biggest names in tech and entertainment, all drawn to our innovative approach to digital marketing. Then came the opportunity I'd been waiting for. Sterling Communications, despite its prestigious name, was struggling to adapt to the changing digital landscape. Their stock price was dropping, their clients were jumping ship, and their outdated technology was becoming a liability. Madison, now executive VP, was too busy posting about her latest promotion to notice the company was sinking. But I noticed. I noticed everything. Through a complex series of transactions, Phoenix Digital began quietly buying Sterling stock through various shell companies. Each purchase was small enough to avoid attention, but together they formed a significant portion of the company's shares. Then the final piece fell into place. Sterling's CEO announced his retirement, and the board was desperately searching for someone to right the ship. They needed someone with proven digital expertise and a track record of innovation. That's when Phoenix Digital emerged from the shadows, revealing itself as one of Sterling's largest shareholders. The board was impressed by our technology and track record. They didn't know I was behind it all. They just knew we could save their company. Last week, the board voted to accept Phoenix Digital's offer to acquire Sterling Communications. Tomorrow morning, I'll walk into that glass tower not as a job applicant, but as the new CEO. Madison has no idea what's coming. Her latest Instagram post shows her in her corner office, captioned "Another day ruling the digital world." #girlboss, #blessed. I picked up my phone and sent a message to my assistant. Schedule a meeting with Madison Parker for 9 a.m. tomorrow. Don't tell her who it's with. I arrived at Sterling Communications an hour early, watching through the security cameras as employees filtered into the building. The atmosphere was tense. Everyone knew about the acquisition, but few understood exactly what it meant for their future. Madison strutted in at 8:45, designer handbag swinging from her arm, barely glancing at the security guard she passed every day. She was wearing the same brand of power suit she'd worn to steal my interview years ago. "Perfect," my assistant buzzed me. "Your sister is here for her 9 a.m. meeting." "Make her wait 15 minutes, I replied. "Let her sit in a reception area like I once did." I stood at the window of the CEO's office, my office now, remembering all the times Madison had bragged about her view of the city. The same view I now commanded. At precisely 9:15, my assistant showed Madison in. She was scrolling through her phone, probably drafting another self-congratulatory social media post. "This better be important," she said without looking up. "I have a client presentation at..." Her voice trailed off as she finally raised her eyes and saw me standing behind the CEO's desk. The phone slipped from her fingers, clattering on the hardwood floor. "Alex?" "Hello, Madison," I said calmly. "Please have a seat. We need to discuss your future at Sterling Communications." She stood frozen, her carefully maintained facade cracking. You're the new CEO?" "But Phoenix Digital is my company," I finished for her. Surprise. She sank into the chair, her face draining of color. "How? It's amazing what you can accomplish when you're not busy posting about your success on Instagram." I sat down, enjoying the role reversal. "While you were stealing my ideas and climbing the corporate ladder, I was building something real." "This is insane," she whispered. "You can't be." I opened my laptop, pulling up her performance records. "Let's review your time at Sterling, shall we? Client retention down 40% under your leadership. Digital initiatives failing to meet basic benchmarks. Oh, and my personal favorite, taking credit for other people's work. Some things never change, do they?" Madison's shock transformed into anger. "You did this for revenge. Bought the company just to fire me? Revenge?" I laughed softly. "Madison, not everything is about you. Sterling Communications needed saving from executives exactly like you. People more concerned with their image than their impact." I stood up, walking to the window. "The company is being completely restructured. We're implementing Phoenix Digital's technology across all divisions. Most of the executive team will be replaced." "You can't fire me," she said, but her voice trembled. "I'm your sister." "Funny, that didn't seem to matter when you stole my interview." I turned back to face her. "But you're right about one thing, I'm not firing you." Hope flickered across her face. "You're not?" "No," I smiled coldly. "I'm offering you a choice." I pulled out 2 folders. Option 1, resignation with 3 months severance. Option 2, a position in our digital analytics department. Entry level, of course. You'll need to learn the technology properly this time. "Entry level," she sputtered. "I'm an executive VP. A title you got through manipulation and theft," I corrected her. "Now you have the chance to earn one legitimately. Your choice." Madison stood up, her hands shaking with rage. "You're enjoying this, aren't you? Making me beg for a job in my own company." "Your company?" I raised an eyebrow. "I think you're confused about ownership. Just like you were confused about whose ideas you stole 6 years ago. She fell silent, realization finally dawning in her eyes. The interview, you knew I'd take your ideas. You knew I'd get the job. No, I said quietly. I trusted you because you were my sister. That was my mistake. One I'll never make again. I slid the folders toward her. You have until the end of the day to decide. Resign with dignity or start over from the bottom. Either way, your days of stealing other people's success are over. Madison stared at the folders, her perfectly manicured nails digging into the leather chair. And if I refuse both options? Then you'll be terminated for cause, with your performance records made available to every major PR firm in New York. I sat back down. Your choice. She grabbed the resignation folder, her hands trembling. You've changed, Alex. No, Madison. I just stopped letting you define my worth. After she left, I stood at the window watching the city sprawl before me. The same view Madison had lorded over me for years now belonged to me, but it wasn't about the view anymore. It was about building something meaningful, something earned through innovation rather than manipulation. My assistant buzzed again. Your 10 a.m. is here. The all-hands meeting to announce the restructuring. Send them in. The conference room filled with nervous employees, Madison notably absent. I stood before them, seeing the same mix of ambition and uncertainty I once felt in this building. Sterling Communications is about to change, I began. Those of you who succeeded through merit and hard work will thrive. Those who've relied on politics and manipulation will not. We're building something new here, something authentic. The changes came swiftly. Phoenix Digital's technology transformed Sterling's operations. Client confidence returned. The stock price soared. Madison chose resignation, of course. Last I heard, she was consulting for small businesses, though her impressive job title carried less weight now that the truth about her methods had become public. Our parents were shocked when they learned the full story. We had no idea, my mother said, tears in her eyes. All those times Madison bragged about her success. While I said nothing, I finished for her. Sometimes silence is the best strategy. The corner office is mine now, but I rarely use it. I prefer working alongside my team, fostering the kind of collaborative environment I'd always dreamed of creating at Sterling. The company's new motto, displayed in the lobby, reads, "Success through innovation, not imitation." A daily reminder that true achievement comes from creating, not stealing. Madison still sends occasional messages through family members, trying to repair what she broke. I don't respond. Some betrayals can't be undone, but they can teach us valuable lessons. The lesson wasn't about revenge. It was about patience, persistence, and the power of building something real while others are busy taking shortcuts. Today, Sterling Phoenix Group leads the industry in digital innovation. Our technology has revolutionized how companies approach online marketing. We've created hundreds of jobs, launched countless careers, and built a culture where merit matters more than manipulation. And that naive girl who once trusted her sister with her dreams, she became something better than she'd imagined. Not just a company director, but a leader who transformed an entire industry. Sometimes I look back at Madison's last Instagram post as Executive VP, living my best life at the top. #corporate_queen, #blessed. Below it, I posted my only comment in 6 years. The view's better from the CEO's office. Trust me. Success, I've learned, isn't about rushing to the top. It's about building a strong foundation that no one can steal. Madison taught me that lesson, though not in a way she intended.